Oh, this is a good one. This is a very special pro bike check. This is Gwin's YT Tues. Right, as always, I'm going to start with the heart of the bike. That is the frame. So this front triangle right here is full carbon. Then these ones here, carbon, carbon. Bottom ones, aluminium. This little link here is aluminium. And then it's got this Fox X2 shock right here. It's 200mm of some plush suspension travel for those gnarly heavy hits that he's going to take. And then on the front, he's got the factory Fox 40s. That again, 200mm of travel. And he's got a special knob up there that's rad. Right, the drive chain, super gnarly. On the front here, he's got E13 composite cranks, so that's full carbon. And to keep his feet on the pedals is these HT X2 downhill pedals. Your feet are clipped in and not coming out for sure. The sprocket size is a 32. On the rear here, he's got a 9x21. It's a 7-speed. It's a Sram XO. Right, the wheels, these have to be super strong for downhill, and these ones are the E13. They're the LG1Rs, full carbon rim, so strong. And the rubber that comes on it is the Onza Aquila tires. These ones, Gwin had full help in design and developing this rubber, so he knows exactly the amount of grip he's got. Right, same wheel build, it's the E13 build, the same rubber, but when it comes to the stopping power, the skidding power of this bike, here his new brakes. They are the TRP G-Spec Quadiems with a 203 rotor on the front. They're 4-pot, and that is a hell of a lot of stopping power. Right, moving on to the cockpit, where that muscle holds this bike and gets it down that hill in speed. He's got the Renthal Fatbars here with a 30mm rise. He's got direct stem mount bolted to these forks, and that is a 50mm. Then he's got these cool ODI rubbers where those hands keep that bike in control. These rad TRP levers here look a bit moto. Maybe that's some of his background influence coming into these levers when he designed them. Another thing to point out here, he's got these rad petrol tie bolts just to save those little bit of weight. I'm guessing his mechanic John went a little bit hammer time on this to get all that weight saved. They're everywhere, these bolts. They're in his saddle here, they're in his rotors, they're holding those calipers on. It looks sick. All right, moving on to this particular part of the bike, the saddle, where he doesn't really use that much. This is a YT Mob. It's a collab between SDG. It's got the same seat post on the bottom here and a nice YT seat post clamp to go with it. Right, enough of me talking about Gwin's bike here. I've got the man himself in it, and he's going to talk me through a few different bits of your bike.
Sure.
So, like, what are you most picky about your bike? Is there certain settings that you like to have?
I think the first thing I notice when I get on a bike is obviously just like the bar roll, lever positioning, kind of all that. I think a lot of guys would agree, even like the seat angle and all that. Just when I get on a bike, I'll instantly know like if it feels pretty comfortable, just the bar roll, where the levers are, both in, out, up, down, and then like the lever pull, like how much float there is and all that stuff. Like that's kind of the first thing. If any of that's off, then I definitely will fix it before I try to ride it.
Yeah. Okay, and then, all right, bar width. What's bar width going on?
I think I'm 785 bar width.
Cool.
Kind of go back and forth. I ran 790 all year last year, and then I had a little knee surgery this off season. I was off the bike for a couple months, and I got back on the bike, and for some reason 790 just felt a little too big, so I went back to 785 and
cut it down.
Yeah, I even went down to 780 for a week, and then that was a little much.
Like,
so
yeah,
so pretty much been 785 for the most part for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay. There's 2 items on this bike that you've had huge input in, and that is tires and your brakes. TRP. So how much input did you have with the tires? Is that like your complete knob design? Is that your thing?
Yeah, pretty much everything on that tire, like 100%. I drew it up actually in an airplane on the way back from Germany like a year ago on a little piece of paper, and kind of that was the start of it, and we kind of just went from there. But yeah, I drew it up pretty much exactly like that.
Wow.
And then we made a couple little tweaks just going back and forth with the guys at Onza, and kind of just got it perfect. So I knew really exactly what I wanted. I've ridden kind of every tire brand over the last 5 years, and I like certain things about other tires you know, some did better, like rolled faster or brake better, but the turning wasn't as good or whatever. Like there was kind of pros and cons of everything, and I wanted to make a tire that just had kind of all the things I liked all in one tire. So, and I feel like that's what this is, so I'm really happy with it.
No, it looks brilliant. Okay, another little silly question here. Was there a certain bird that was an inspiration to this? Because I can see footprints here.
Yeah, well, I wanted to call it the Eagle tire.
Okay.
For a while, but for obvious reasons, couldn't use that name. And no, I don't know. I kind of had like the eagle bird on a lot of my signature products and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of went. Onza actually thought of the name, and it kind of worked out good because a lot of their tire names are kind of like, I think they're Greek animal names. So this one kind of went with the rest of their line and the whole style, and it was kind of still in line with the eagle thing for me. So we were able to actually use my signature logo, which is somewhere on the hot patch. So it was it's pretty cool, man. It worked out well. Yeah.
So you got the bars, you got the grips, but next to the bars where the grips are is the brakes, the TRPs. These look like the supermoto influence.
Yeah.
I like it. I like how you got the ridges on the calipers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they've been awesome. I think we started with those guys from the beginning, and they've just been incredible to work with. We went through so many different lever shapes and renditions. They were sending them to me when I was like in Australia last year at the races. I just get a package at the races and like, hey, which lever do you like? And so we went through a bunch of different versions to get the feel how I wanted, and then just a bunch of revisions with the calipers and stuff to get the power. Like I really like strong brakes, and I like them to have a certain amount of float, like not a ton of float or huge throw or whatever. Like I like them to be snappy but also have good feel, which is kind of hard to find both.
Does that mean you don't have, so being super snappy, when you come into a corner, you don't want to hover on your brake and slow you down slowly. You just want to be like, bang! Yeah,
I just don't like them to feel squishy when you pull them. So these aren't like crazy where you ride them and you're like, oh, I just can't control them. They have really good feel, but they don't have squishiness, so they're really predictable. They bite in the exact same spot every time you pull them. With where I run my pad tolerances and everything and the feel I like, they usually just kind of require like constant adjustment and maintenance to keep them that way. So when we design these brakes, we basically they use like really high quality stuff and design in a way to where I pretty much just set my brakes down, just ride them, and like never touch them hardly, and that's pretty crazy because I've never been able to do that. So they've been awesome for me.
That's good. Yeah, they look good, man.
Thank you.
Good work. Aaron, thank you so much for that, dude. That was
man. Thank you.
A good pro bike check. And if you want to see another pro bike check, click just down here. And if you want to know what downhill is all about, with this guy races down a mountain, just click down here.
Or subscribe. Here.
There, click over there. Oh, and don't forget to give this guy's bike a thumbs up. If he doesn't, he's going to choke you out with those guns. Give it a thumbs up.